Back to Scott Swing Sports today, ladies and gentlemen. I am back by myself again. Hopefully, my dad's here next week or the following week with him being off for Christmas and everything. Let's get into my college football and NFL predictions. There's not any Division One football games this week, so I'm going to go into the FCS playoffs now. Round 3 of the FCS playoffs start this weekend. So let's get into my predictions right now. First game out, Stanford and North Dakota State tonight. In Fargo, I will go with North Dakota. I think North Dakota State's probably the Alabama of the FCS, so I'm going to go with North Dakota State to get the win here over Stanford. Next up, William & Mary and Montana State. William & Mary coming off a blowout win last week. Looked very, very good last weekend against Gardner-Webb. Montana State coming off a closer win. This game is 10:15 tonight on ESPN2. Montana State favored by 8.5 points. I'm going to take the upset. I think William & Mary's been playing very well this year. One loss on the season. I'm going to go with William & Mary to get the win here on the road in Montana. 19 degrees tonight in Bozeman, Montana tonight at kickoff at 10:15 on ESPN2. Next up, Incarnate Word and Sacramento State. I will go with Sacramento State. I think they've looked better this year. 12-0 on the season, so I'll go with Sacramento State to get the win here. Next up, Holy Cross and South Dakota State. I'm going to go with the Jackrabbits to get the win here. The Jackrabbits have been playing very well this year. So I will go with the South Dakota State Jackrabbits to get the win here. 18 degrees tomorrow in South Dakota tomorrow for this game. Should be a good one. Now into my NFL predictions. 0-for-1 start after picking the Raiders to win last night. Not what I was expecting, but it was a coin flip for me in that game. First game out tomorrow on Sunday, Jets and Bills. Bills know they got to win this to stay atop the AFC East and continue to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I will go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to get the win here at home. I think they're going to avenge that loss they had to the Jets a couple weeks back. So I will go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to get the win here at home over the Jets. Next up, the Cleveland Browns heading into Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Give me Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to get the win here. Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns. I think this is the week that he finally beats the Browns. Give me Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to keep pace in the AFC North and put some pressure on the Ravens to continue to win. Next up in the biggest blowout game you'll see all weekend is it'll be the 1-10 Houston Texans heading into Dallas to take on the 9-3 Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys to get the win here at home. Dallas 6-1 at home this year. Only loss came all the way back in week 1 when the Bucs went into Dallas and beat them. So I'm going to go with Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, and the Dallas Cowboys to get the win here at home over a very bad Houston Texans team. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings heading into Detroit to take on the Lions. This is probably the weirdest line I've seen all week. Lions favored by 2 points coming into this game, surprisingly. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings to get the win here on the road. I think they lock up the NFC North this week with a win. I think the Vikings will win this game and lock up the NFC North, clinch their playoff spot here with a win on the road against the Lions. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars heading into Tennessee to take on the Titans. Give me Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans to get the win here at home. I think the Titans are a little bit better. The Jags got a nice win a couple weeks ago, but then they go in and do horribly last week against Detroit. I'll go with the Titans to get the win here at home in Nashville against the Jags. Next up, Jalen Hurts and the 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles heading into New York to take on Danny Dimes and the Giants. Give me the Eagles to get the win here on the road. I think the Eagles are a much better team right now than the Giants are. So I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles to get the win here on the road against the Giants. Next up, it'll be Tyler Huntley and the Baltimore Ravens heading into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. No sign of Lamar Jackson this week. I am going to actually go with Kenny Pickett in the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win here at home. Rivalry game. I think if Lamar was playing, I would take the Ravens. If Lamar Jackson was playing this week, he's not. And plus, I have the Steelers defense in fantasy this week, so I'm going to go with Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win here at home in Pittsburgh against the Ravens. Next up, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs heading into Denver to take on the Broncos. Give me Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to get the win here on the road in Denver against the Broncos. Next up, Tom Brady returns home as he and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a miraculous win on Monday night against the Saints heading to San Francisco to take on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. I think the big thing you got to look for this week is the injury report today. Once that comes out, we'll know if Nick Bosa is going to play this week. Doesn't look like the Bucs are going to have any of their safeties back this week after being out also last week. Tough pick here, but I think Tom Brady's going to. I think Psycho Tom's going to come out this week. I think Tom Brady wants to stick it to the San Francisco 49ers for not drafting him 6 times in the draft when he was a rookie and not signing him last year or the year before that. So I'll go with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to find a way to get a win on the road in San Francisco against the Niners. Next up, the Carolina Panthers heading in to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks at home over the Panthers. Next up, Monday Night Football should be a good one. Tua and the Dolphins heading into LA take on the Chargers. I will go with Tua and the Dolphins to get the win here on the road. I think Tua was a little bit embarrassed with himself last week after that performance last week that he had against the Niners last week. I think he gets back on track this week. Give me Tua and the Dolphins on the road over the Chargers. Now into Monday Night Football. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots heading into Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Give me Mac Jones and the New England Patriots to get the win here on the road. Cardinals have only won 1 home game all season, so I think that the woes continue at home for the Arizona Cardinals this year. I'll go with Mac Jones and the New England Patriots to get the win here on the road against the Cardinals, and that will do it for this episode of Scott's Weekend Sports. I will be back next week with another episode of Scott's Weekend Sports, and I will see you guys next week right here on Scott's Weekend Sports. See you later, guys.